Yo guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to show you how to make this bench power supply using an old computer power supply. The idea behind this project was that we needed to charge our phones, battery banks as well as other portable light sources as fast as we can for shooting. So we needed many chargers for that. So we decided to make this with 4 2 ampere USB outputs, 4 12 volt outputs, several crude outputs and 2 adjustable voltage outputs. The adjustable output goes from 4.8 volts to 54 volts. We connected 5 volt as input to the boost converter so that it can pretty much cover a good range of outputs. You can also use 3.3 volt, but the power will be low as plus 5 volt is rated for most power output. We also had to connect a 4.7 ohm 10 watt resistor between a plus 5 red wire and black ground wire as the PSU needs some load to operate stably. You can find these power supplies at cheap in an electronics store which sells second-hand products. We got ourselves from a wholesale dealer of PC parts, so it costed us $2. This power supply is rated at 450 watts, but you can use lesser rated ones too, as even 200 watt is a lot for our use. Every PSU has some color coded wires. Each color has a specific meaning, and generally orange means plus 3.3 volts, red means plus 5 volts, yellow means plus 12 volts, blue means minus 12 volts, white means minus 5 volts, purple means plus 5 volts standby, black means ground, and so on, which you can see in the link in the description below. It also shows you the difference between PSUs with 20 pin or 24 pin connectors. But if your PSU has different wire colors, then you can check the side of your PSU for the rating as well as which wire is what. Usually a motherboard takes about 5 watt power even when nothing is connected. So we used a 10 watt resistor to trick the PSU that motherboard is connected, and to switch it on basically for checking purposes that whether the PSU is working or not, you have to basically connect a green power on wire to the black ground wire. We will be connecting a switch between these to on and off our bench power supply. You also need a 100 kilo ohm potentiometer, a voltmeter, some LEDs, some wires and a lot of hot glue. But I must tell you that in any case, do not open your PSU and make sure that it is unplugged whenever working on it, as it is quite dangerous and might cause you harm. You basically need to first cut off the wire connectors off and then group them on the basis of their color. Then select what wires you need and what not, and then cut off the excess ones. Then you need some MDF board to make a basically extension for the metal case of the PSU so that we can house the extra components in it. Then you basically need to design the front of the case extension. We designed holes for the USB ports, DC ports, some space for mail headers, a switch, a potentiometer, a voltmeter, some LEDs and the adjustable outputs. Then basically glue everything to its place first. We glued the boost converter and the 10 watt resistor to the base of the case. Make sure to keep the resistor near the fan vents as it will get hot over time when in use, but it never gets too hot to handle, so there will be no fire problems. We also stuck some white LED strip inside the case so that it will illuminate the USB ports whenever the bench power supply will be on. Now after everything has been glued to its place firmly, you can begin the process of soldering and making the circuit. The circuit is very simple. Just first connect the plus 5 red wire to USB ports, then plus 12 yellow wire to DC ports, then red wire to the boost converter as well as the dummy load. Now connect the plus 3.3 volt orange wire to the LEDs with some resistance like 220 ohms. As you will see in the video, the LEDs were glowing too brightly, so use some higher value resistance like 1 kilo ohm or more. Now connect the wires to the male header pins which output you want, like blue, red, orange, yellow, white, etc. Now connect the potentiometer in place of the one in the boost converter. R was 100 kilo ohm, but you may want to check if yours is different. Now connect its output to the output ports. Then connect the switch to the green wire, and at last connect everything wherever needed with black ground wire. Before turning it on for a check, make sure that no two wires are touching and every connection is properly done. Then you can turn it on for a check, and at this time I realized that I connected the LEDs to 5 volt, so most of them fuse instantly, and I thought it to be a huge pain, so I only changed one power on of LED and left the others as it is, but remove their connections. Now if everything is properly wired, it's good, but if it doesn't, then check the dummy load that if it gets warm or not. If it doesn't, then you might need to check the manual of your power supply to know the load it needs to turn on, and then change the resistor with that value. If it does get warm, then you just need to check your wiring and everything is connected or not. If everything is working, then proceed to close the case with the help of hot glue. Don't shy away from using a lot of it to properly seal the case. And there you have it, a working bench power supply with lots and lots of differently curated outputs which you can customize to your needs. It also outputs high current as well as high voltage whenever you need it. If you have any problems, shoot us with them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and make sure to hit that notification bell, obviously after subscribing.